Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Here is noontime in California. Daniel Spatz interviews. Today, English interview with Romana Tabak from Slovakia. She was a former WTA player, a wonderful junior player, and also right now and in the past few years, politician in Slovakia. So it's an honor to have her in my show. So again, I know some people will be disappointed because they don't understand English, but yeah, you gotta do your homework, guys. I did it. I learned English, so that's it. This is life. We gotta keep learning and moving on. I'm waiting for Romana. There's a fascinating story about her life, going through difficult situations. Her health. She had a serious illness who forced her to retire from the WTA tour. Hi everybody, ¿cómo están todos? How are you doing? Thursday I will have the Harrison's family. Pat Harrison, the father, and Ryan Harrison, former top in the world. Romana, you're there. I'm going to send you an invite. Hey Romana, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good. I'm so sorry that I'm a little bit late, but I had practice.
No worries. How are you? How are you doing? How was your day today?
I'm good. Since I'm a mom, it's a little bit hectic, but it's a new life. But very nice to meeting you, Daniel, and thank you very much for inviting me to this because you were interviewing so many great players, and it's my pleasure to have a chat with you.
You were one of those players. So you're going to share with us your wonderful and fascinating story. Where are you right now exactly? Which city in Slovakia?
Yeah, right now I'm in Bratislava. It's capital city of Slovakia. It's the main city.
Tell us about Slovakia. People who never been there wants to know how. Give us a tour
I
right
will
now.
give you a tour, but let me ask you, is this video live also on my profile?
Yes,
Are you sure?
yes,
Really?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that
They
would be
will
great.
see you. They will see you live. They will join. So yeah, yeah, of course, of course. And then it's gonna go in my YouTube channel.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So then then I can post it later and people they can see it, right?
Yeah, they see Romana is the best. Everybody's joining. Thank you so much. So
Where are you
okay,
from originally, if I may ask you?
from
Oh,
Argentina, born in Argentina.
oh.
Yes,
I was
yes.
playing
And
in
I
Argentina. I was playing in Rosario, where Messi was born. And I remember I played in Buenos Aires, and you remind me people because they were holding so many posters. They were like, "Romana, you are the best. We cheer you." And now you remind me of this.
look at that. Now we love sports. How about
Yeah.
okay? How about Slovakian people? You guys also love sports?
Yeah, we do love sports. We love hockey, we love soccer, we love tennis. But yeah, tennis is not totally that popular in Slovakia, but I think we are doing like pretty well on the world level. But you asked me about Slovakia. It's a small state. We have only 5 million people. It's the middle of Europe, and it's amazing country. We have amazing mountains. But it's kind of I don't want to say it's boring, but people when they visit Slovakia, it's only for a weekend or so. Like you can quickly see everything what you want to see, you know.
How, how do you started with tennis and why tennis in your life?
How did I start playing tennis? No one forced me to play tennis. My parents didn't tell me like, "Oh, you should play tennis." Um, it happens how everything happens in my life. It's kind of a miracle. I had my girlfriend, and she was a little bit overweight, and my mom was like, "Oh, Gabriela, you should try tennis." And we were driving her to tennis courts and I fell in love with tennis, and she finished she finishes tennis like after two or three lessons, and I continued and I just fell in love with the sport.
Wow. You see, but what is amazing that we can have this conversation on the phone, right? Like this. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's totally new era because when I was playing, there were no social media at the time. There was no Instagram. It was a little bit of Facebook, but I remember when I was playing, like I just turned off my phone, and and I could be totally disconnected. But right now, I can see that the tennis players, they are forced to have Instagram and to having like good commercials on their profiles. Like without it, you can't be popular. So it's totally something different when I used to play. And I quit tennis like pretty young. So yeah.
So, and why you think they have to have Instagram or those exposure in social media? Is just advertisement? Is I think you don't think it's distractive for them?
I think it is very destructive, but at the same time, you can get a good sponsor, like, you can get, well known and get, money from commercials and from marketing. So everything has pluses and minuses. But I think if you learn how to manage it well, then you can. It's a big plus. But when you're all the time on the phone besides playing tennis, then of course it's no. So
We're going to go through your present times as a politician, of course, later on. But then I want to take you through your tennis career. You were really good when you started playing tennis. You showed some talent, natural talent from the early stages of your development.
yeah, I was kind of always on the top level since I was young. I was good at under 9, under 12. Then I had a little bit of crisis when I was around 14 or 15, but then I came back and I was number one player in Slovakia under 18. I was the junior player of Slovakia. Then I got knee surgery. So I quit. I wasn't sure if I should come back. Then I came back, and in 11 months, I got from 0 to 240 WTA. It was very hard work. It was at the same time, it was amazing. But, I mean, all the players that I used to beat or I used to play, now they are like top 10. So I think if I wouldn't quit, I would be on the top level as well. But not everything what you dream of, it's meant to be.
Exactly. Your parents are good, are healthy, your parents?
Yeah, my parents are fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from big family. We are like three sisters and one brother.
What your siblings do? What they do for living? What they profession? What they do?
My sister, she's living in Emirates. She's doing very well. And my other sister, she is studying and as well like my brother. They are living in Spain and as well Slovakia. I'm the only one who came back to Slovakia and loving this country.
And you were the only one tennis player in the family.
Yeah, I'm the only one who was into professional sport.
Nice, nice, amazing, amazing. You let me tell me if I'm wrong. You got to the semis and Wimbledon's in juniors.
Yes, and semi-final of Roland Garros in doubles.
So, but going back, I thought you were deciding I'm going to be pro, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was the one who was always pushing and pressing, and I was the one who was always a little bit complaining, and then have like ups and downs. So yeah, it was a little bit of minus of mine to be not totally that stable. Like right now, like after 10 years, I see all the like minuses that what I was doing, and I should do something else.
Any player that you admired growing up? Any professional
Any
players you
players?
look after?
Definite, not totally. I don't like when players they're saying like, "Oh, I want to be like her." You should say like, "Oh, I admire what she achieved, but I can do better." That's the mindset you should definitely have. That's the mindset that I have right now, because right now I'm in the political world, and when I see some politician or something what they do, I'm not saying like, "Oh, I want to be like them," but I say like, "Oh, I want to be better. I can do the same and better." And the players that I admired, I always liked women's tennis players who like to dress well and they look this and all these, kind of like the pretty girls. That's what I was enjoying.
Wonderful.
Actually, I feel like that I see you personally. It's crazy. Like these times having interview through social media, like I literally I feel like we are having like one-on-one chats.
You see, it is. This is amazing, amazing.
Yeah. Like
Um,
next time when we meet, we were like, oh, I already met you, right?
exactly. I hope I'm gonna visit. I never been in Slovakia.
Oh, you're most like you're invited. Let me know. The National Tennis Center is right now, Slovakia beat Serbia, so we'll be in the top eight group, like fighting for Malaga. So it will be like right now, Slovakian tennis is doing very well.
Oh, I would love to visit you guys and see everything. I what was the main challenge moving from juniors to pro?
Main challenge that the the small tournaments, women's tournaments are without boys, so they're only girls. That was very challenging. That it's more, it's more professional. It's no more that much fun. I always like to have fun besides the court, and it's just tough world. You could see all the girls fighting there for their lives, what they're gonna do, So it's hard. It's very hard.
Mm, yeah, and are you watching tennis now? You enjoy watching if you have time?
If I do have time, I love to watch, but since I'm a mom, it's not easy always, to watch when you prepare for it. I'm watching some tennis through social media, just, some highlights or so. But of course, like always, I have like one eye on the tennis, and I'm always watching the players that I used to play, and it's just nice to see that they're doing well. It makes me very free when I say like, oh, I wish you all the best. I'm glad that you achieved this. Like having envy in you and being like, oh, she did it and I didn't. You're just harming yourself. No, no one else.
You have a daughter,
No, I have a son,
a
Isaac.
son.
Yes,
How old is he?
he's 4 years old.
Oh,
And to
four.
be and to be honest with you, Danielle, Um, I was always very sad that I had to quit tennis when I was 21, when I was
Mm,
like at my biggest stage. And I was praying to God, like, will I ever be happy and enjoying life ever again? And it
mm,
happens with the baby. And I'm very open about mental health, and I was visiting a lot of psychologists since I quit with tennis. It was very hard. I was struggling with bulimia. I was struggling, I don't want to say depression, but I was very sad for so many years. And I was always working on my mental health. And,
mm,
and the psychologist told me, he was like, Romana, trust me, the feeling when you hit forehand down the line as a winner, the feeling will be much bigger one day when you will become a mom. And I was like, what you're talking about, it I will never be happy again. And it happens that when they gave me my baby, the day he was born, it was just magical, and it's totally different. So that's why I'm telling always to tennis players that working on yourself only as an athlete without having like other building other life besides that, it's like a building castle from sand. And that's exactly what Richard Williams was telling in the movie King Richard.
mm.
He was always having like two lives for Serena and Venus, like working so hard on the tennis courts, but when they finished practices, they were still kids. He always took them to Disneyland, like he was working on their, like normal life. That's why they studied great schools. Like Venus, she was studying some designing
Mm.
school, and that's why they're playing for so long, because they're not taking tennis that serious. They don't put everything on one card. And that's what I did. I put everything on one card. I was always so stressed. Oh, if I don't win this tournament, it will be over. I'm gonna quit. And then I totally fall apart with one injury, and I couldn't enjoy life for 8 years or so. It was very hard.
Why? Can you tell us something about your illness? What happened? So many people were asking me respectfully about
Yeah,
that. Of course, I don't want to
yeah.
force you to talk
No.
about anything you don't want to talk,
Yeah,
okay? What
no, no, no.
happened? How did the thing started?
Yeah, I'm very open about it. I got Lyme disease, and I was 240 WTA. I was very forcing so much playing every tournament to get to Roland Garros in the qualification. There were tournaments at WTA Stuttgart, for example, and I met so many girls in the locker room, and one girl, I know which one, I know her name, but I'm not gonna mention her. And she told me, she was like, Romana, I can't wait to see you on the Grand Slams. Like, you have great looks, you play so well. Like, I'm so glad that, and they were like, it was so nice because I was listening to my dream. And then uh, I was still practicing so hard, and every day I got very tired. And every day I was so tired. I was like, wow, like I'm working so hard. And then I went to the hospital. They put, how do you say, the
Mm.
IV vitamins, and I was always so tired. And they were telling me, like, Romana, I think something's wrong. I was like, no, no, I'm just practicing so hard. Everything's fine. And then one day at the practice, I think it was June 2012, I sat down and I got cramps all over my body that I started to cry and I couldn't move and I almost like fell. And I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to the hospital. They took my blood and I was like, oh, what kind of infections what I have? And this like, oh, and before that, I found a tick. I found a tick spot on my back, and my mom was like, "Oh, it looks a little bit weird," and I was like, "No, it's just the mosquito." And I played with the Lyme disease spot. Who knows the disease knows exactly what it is. And I was playing with it on my back. All the best tournaments. I played like six WTA tournaments, and then yeah, I got these cramps, and I got to hospital, and they said like, wow, you are having like very bad Lyme disease, like it looks
Mm.
bad. And then they drive me to Prague. Wow, it's so hard to talk about it right now because it was so live. And they did the lumbar puncture. It means they put needle in your spine to take the water from the brain if it's already infected the brain. So I was waiting for the results, and the results was that it's very like the standard is very high, but it's not in my brain. But they gave me very hard medications. I had to quit immediately. It was in the summer, July 2012. 2 weeks before I beat Jovanovski, she was top 100 that time. So I could see that I'm already going there.
Mm.
I beat top 100 player. Then I had to quit from one day to another. I mean, playing tennis. And then I was asking the doctor, like, oh, so what's the deal? And I said, wow, like I have to quit for 2 months, not even being on the sun. And then he told me, like, Romana, it might be in your joints. Samantha Stossor, she had Lyme disease. And then he told me, like, oh, you're gonna go very slowly back. It might take years, and then you will see if you can really play tennis again on the high level. And tennis players who are 200 in the world, you know how it is. Whatever you make, like it goes away. It only costs you money. It's always like very hard work. And at that time, at the point of my life, I was just like, wow, I really feel that this is over for now. And it was heartbreaking. My parents, I was a little bit surprised that my parents maybe
We lost
you hear me.
right now. Yeah, there was a little interruption. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine. Yeah, you were talking about
sorry.
your parents
Yeah,
in that moment.
and that moment, my parents said like either you go to school or we're not gonna like support you in tennis anymore because they could see that it's like it's just so hard. And now I'm so thankful that they sent me to university and I signed Concordia College, New York. And there was like right now I have a smile on my face because I know that it was amazing decision, but I was struggling for so many years, and it was hard to be in New York and playing tennis with on the lower level and going to school with 10 Chinese people and learning ESL classes, English as second language. So like right now I'm laughing, but it was very very hard time. And plus I started to struggle with bulimia because
Mm.
whenever I saw tennis friends at the TV. I remember that we went to some students' bar, and I saw Sloane Stevens playing Australian Open, and I used to be with her like at the US Open when we were juniors, like, and I got so emotional, and I started to overeat and eating, kind of like the emotional eating, and then I didn't want to gain weight, so I went to bathroom, and I started to throwing
Mm.
up, and this was going on like for 2.5 years. And I'm very open about bulimia because so many young girls, they are struggling with this eating disorder, and it's very important that women support women and they talk about the issue.
When you returned to Slovakia after graduating from college, um, what do you like to do? What was your
Yeah.
goal
Uh,
there? What do you?
yeah. After I graduated from New York, I signed another university in England. It
Mm.
calls Durham University. I got very high class scholarship, and I was number one in the team. And I played tennis, and I finished my master's degree. Not totally the my degree, but I got certificate. And there was also a very hard time because at the same time it was beautiful and hard time because I broke up with my fiance. I was engaged, and this is totally crazy. I think one day somebody's gonna do a movie about me because there's so many amazing moments in my life that it's crazy to talk about that it really happens. And yeah, after I finished Durham University, I felt like again that I should come back to Slovakia and live in Slovakia. So I got to Slovakia and I started to teach tennis. I was
Oh,
teaching tennis. Yes, I was a travel coach, but only for a short time. And then I started to work at one school as an after school teacher. So I was with the kids a lot. That's what makes me happy. It's a little bit hard, but at the same time, it's good. And then I got pregnant with my son. So yeah, it was I got pregnant like 1 year after I finished my Durham University. And from there, should I continue what happened after?
is the show belongs to you?
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, and after I got pregnant, I was always active in my life, and I started to be involved in politics. I was always very interested what is going on in my country, and I went to one protest against one deputy of justice, against one politician who did something bad, and I thought that it's very bad what she did and she should like step down from her position.
Mm.
And I was pregnant and I came to the protest and there was no one, just me and some political leaders, and they recognized me as a tennis player. And I told them like, "Oh, I'm having baby soon, but whatever you need, like I used to play tennis. I was studying in New York. I was studying in England. I'm working, And it's like whatever you need, let me know. But I wasn't asking them like, oh, I want to go to politics. Like I want to be a politician. It was just like, tell them. And they called me after 2 months and they were like, oh, we thought about you if you want to run for parliament. And I was like, wow, like this is crazy. Like, you should always get in life where they want you. And I was like, yeah, why not? And they asked me like, oh, so do you prefer to have like certain number like higher that you get to the parliament? And I was like, no, 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 like I don't want to push, like I know my name, I know my abilities. So just give me uh uh two numbers, but they have to be same because when I will be at the billboards, so the people they can remember my numbers. So they gave me 44, which is pretty high. It's not that it's pretty low because usually like politicians who are in top 10 at the candidate list, they get to parliament, but they gave me 44. And when they gave me the number, I was just like, wow, like I'm gonna get to the parliament even with this number. I'm gonna work so hard. So I started to do the campaign, and I get to the parliament as a first tennis player ever in to Slovakian parliament. And I become a member of parliament, and then I was in the committee for foreign affairs. I was committee for European affairs. I was chairwoman for Indian friendship group between India and Slovakia, and I was the first tennis player ever be at the European Parliament. I talked about the um, what was the theme? It was about the heat or eat
Mm.
problem in Europe, and it's just from there it's just adventure, and it's a big responsibility. It's my life totally changed since I'm in politics. It's my private life is over, and at the same time I'm enjoying it because I was a part of the coalition, and almost 13 of laws went through, and I changed the law in Slovakia. So
Oh.
I'm not the type of politician who is only like, talking bad stuff about others, but I can say that I'm very responsible, and I always like to show the results for people. So it's the same like in the sport.
So
But
you're
in
very,
poli
very, very determined.
Oh, I'm very determined. I just love this job as much as I love tennis. And right now I'm running for European Parliament, and we are having elections 8th of June
So
2024.
I will be keeping updated about it. We will
Yeah,
be.
yeah. And if I get in, this will be again, I'll be the first formal professional tennis player who ever get to
You
European Parliament.
you will. You will. I'm gonna bring you good energy, good vibes.
I mean, I'm still waiting which number I'm gonna get at the candidate list. So hopefully they
Romana,
will give me the lowest.
you will be there for sure. Let me ask you, what values from tennis that you learned from tennis you move and you took for your politician life?
Definitely the fighting spirit, the determination, also when empathy. It's also very important. I think tennis to be em empathic, I would say, and but
But
definitely the hard work
sorry,
and
excuse me. What do you mean empathic in tennis? Empathetic.
how would I say, for me being to have an empathy in tennis, it means that you have very good kind of like a sense to read other players and to kind of get to their shoes and to see like what they see and to have yeah, the empathy for me is also very important. That's what I also use in politics. But at the same time, you have to be rough, you have to have a thick skin. And to be honest, anything what was happening on the tennis court or at the tennis tournaments, like right now I'm using in my life. It's unbelievable. But the most it is that whenever I'm losing or somebody is knocking me down, it's not about like how bad like it was, but if you decided to step up and to keep fighting.
Excellent. No, no, I'm listening. Remember, I don't talk. I listen. I just,
Yeah.
I'm doing, quick, short questions.
I'm
Have you,
sorry,
it,
am I talking too much? Maybe I'm just talking.
you should, you better talk.
Ah,
You
okay,
better
good.
talk. This is why I was inviting you. Um, People want to listen to you, Nami. Um,
Good.
have you ever received an invitation from the WTA to talk to the players? Any motivational speak, help, uh, guidance, or maybe to hold any position as in the committee, WTA committee, or not?
No, this is the first time that I'm ever hearing about this. I would love to if they want me to. I would love it, but I was only 240 WTA. I played only qualifications at the WTA, so I'm not sure if they would like it, but I'm very open to it, because it's very important to talk about education in sports, to to building yourself besides the tennis career. So let me know if it's possible.
No, I have nothing to do with WTA. I'm just curious because you have an amazing story.
And I
You said
Because I
200.
was listening to Mary Pierce. She had some kind of seminars and talking about her career. I read all the tennis books. I read all the I was watching all the how would I say, seminars of tennis players. Nick Bollettieri, when he used to be alive, I was watching him. I met him at the US Open. Like, he was so kind, so confident, you know. Like, I love when I'm meeting like people with like very strong mentality, you know. And now I just want to say, when I was in Argentina, I had practice with Guido Pella and his coach. And I don't remember
Oh,
his name, but he's amazing. What is
Fabian,
his name?
Fabian
I
Blengino,
think so.
Blengino, Fabian.
He used to coach Korea or
Yes,
oh,
correct.
he's so kind. He's amazing. And I practiced with them, and then we had lunch. And Fabian is telling me, like, Romana, if you're not gonna eat everything and to, you know, to correct whatever you eat, and you will lose some kilos, like, it will be worth it because you will be stronger faster. And this is the one thing that I never changed during my short career, and that's the nutrition. I was always like to eat, you know, like French fries with meat. And he told me, like, Romana, like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but he told me, like, if you're gonna do it, it will be worth it. If you lose weight, you're gonna be like amazing. Like, you have amazing touch. You're so strong a player. And I never did it, and then I quit, you know. But I remember the practice with Guido Pella, like, he was amazing. And
I,
Guido Pella, when I used to talk to Guido Pella, he always told me, I was like, Romana, so what if I quit with tennis or it's not gonna like work for me? Like, the life, even besides tennis, is so amazing. Like, it's fine. Like, you know, the time when when he told me, I was like, oh my gosh, like, if I quit tennis, in my case, like, I'm gonna die. Like, it's over. My life is over. And Guido Pella, he was just like, ah, so what? It's okay. And I quit, and he did his best. Like, he was like top 100 or so. He was very successful.
yeah, he reached 21 or 22 in the world.
Amazing. And I was watching his matches at US Open. I think he lost like 6-0, 6-0 somewhere. And he was always like fun, you know, like, you Argentinians, like, you enjoy life. So it's amazing. South
Yeah,
Americans.
yeah.
I was engaged to Brazilian. So
Oh,
yeah.
nice, nice. Tennis player?
Yeah, he used to play tennis. Yeah.
Okay. I know. We keep the name in secret.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I want to ask you about, let's say you come to my academy, right? And I have four girls training, 12, 14 years old. And I tell you, Romana, go get the basket and coach them.
Oh,
What,
they
what
would
would you,
love it.
what would you do first with the girls?
I used to coach besides when I was at the university. So summer camps, I was doing it. Um, like, the kids loved me because I was so fun, and I was doing all the exercises that I used to play, and I was always competitive. So whatever they had to do, it was like always very interesting for them. And
Mm.
besides that, I always checked their hair, and I always, yes, and I was braiding their hair, and they had to look the best that they could. And then they were playing, and I was always positive, but at the same time I was very critical. And they always came back to me, and it's just amazing. But for me, it's very important, like, warm up, and that they have to do stretching. That's part of the practice. And then during the practice, like, I read the book of Billie Jean King. I would love to meet her one day. That's my dream, to meet Mama of WTA
Mm.
tennis, world tennis. And I remember that the practices she did, and I remember even until now, like, she did 20 minutes only cross, 20 minutes back and cross, then the line, then for example, like, she was very, it's about how do you say, the everything was counting on, you know, like, it has to be 20 minutes, you have to be focused, you know. So some kind of like very fun exercises.
Nice,
And
nice.
you are in
Um,
California, or where do you have your academy?
yes, California, Southern California. Yes, south part of Los Angeles. Have you been in California?
I played in Rancho Mirage, something like
Rancho,
that.
yes, it's
I played
nearby.
there. Oh yeah, I played there. I lost in first round. That was terrible. And then I played in Arizona, and I went to Indian Wells. But I never played there. I just went there to visit and to
You
to
should
motivate
you
myself.
should come to watch Indian Wells.
Yeah, yeah, I already been there. It's
It's
beautiful. It's very much
beautiful
beautiful.
place,
Yeah,
beautiful place.
yeah.
Romana, time flies. Now we have 40 minutes already. This
Wow, that's
time.
crazy.
Well,
I'm talking too much.
no, no, please don't say that anymore. Do you have dinner already?
I already had dinner. Yeah, yeah. And
How
today
is
I
your
did aqua aerobic today. Yeah.
okay? How was
And to be honest with you, I used to be very stiff, and how would I say, I couldn't do anything else between tennis. I was so focused. I was just like, no, like my goal, I have to be top 100. And when I was in New York, the people around me teach how to savor life. It means that you're savoring anything what you do. You can have fun. I couldn't have fun anymore on the tennis court since I
Mm,
I quit. And right
mm.
now I'm doing other sports and I'm not thinking anymore like being professional, but I'm just enjoying the workout.
What do
So
you do? What the sports you like to do?
I do yoga, I do Bikram yoga, I do 5 Tibetans. That's the best exercise ever. I'm doing it already for 7 years. And then I play tennis a little bit. I play still the third league in Naples, in Italy, every summer. And then I run. I love to do ice skating, swimming, skiing. I'm just
Wow,
enjoying life so much to the fullest.
nice. This is the way it should be. How is your day? How is a day in Romana's life? Normal day. What time you wake up? What time you go to the office? You don't go every day. What do you? How is your day?
Since Isaac is 4 years old, so everything is all around him. So I have to wake up, I have to bring him to school. He goes to kids school. And then since you're in politics, you're working kind of like 24/7, whatever you need it. Sometimes you have to have a personal meeting, sometimes you have to go to some venue and to check something. So but I always try to exercise before, so I relax a little bit, and then you have to do emails, you have to do so many stuff. Then you're invited to so many events, for example, like to the Sportsman of the Year, or you're going to some committee. It's very various. It's not something that is like a corporate company. So I work, I could say like you work like 24/7, whatever is needed. Like for example,
Is
next week
uh,
I'm opening a new sports hall at the east on Slovakia. So you travel there, you meet with people, you ask them what they need, what we should change in the law, how the Slovakia should look better. So you have to be very communicative. You always have to be on social media. So it's exhausting, but at the same time, I love it.
do you control your own social media activities, or you have somebody working for you?
I do control it, but I have also people who works on it because it's important. But I can still do better with everything. So
And I, and I,
so
I, I have a question that intrigues me because why? Because when I contacted you, I said I don't think she's going to accept the interview. Not
really,
because you never know, but I took a chance. I insisted. Why do you accept an interview with me?
because I check your profile and you seems to be charismatic, and I liked your profile, and I saw that you were had an interview with Marat Safin, and I love the Russian player, and I can see that you have the love for the sports, and you're now you you're describing me like if I would be Maria Sharapova, but I was just 240 in
You
the
are
world, so
repeating.
why not?
Let me say something. You said 240. How many people will dream to be 1,000 in the world? I
True.
mean, 200 is good. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
so so many they never make
yeah,
it. They never make
yeah.
it.
Yeah. And I did it in 11 months, and I was working so hard. But the one thing I forget to tell you, and I don't want to get to religion a lot because I totally like respect when somebody don't believe in God
Mhm.
or they have other religion, but in my life helped me so much that Jesus blessed me with the faith. It's something that I wasn't into religion when I was playing tennis. I was kind of lost. I was reading a lot of books, I don't know, about yoga, about I don't know, how do you say that you go to people and they pay and you pay them to tell them the about your future, the fortune tellers and all these things. And I was visiting in New York, Concordia College in New
Mm,
York, and I went to chapels a lot because I was always crying.
mm,
I was very sad from the that I couldn't play. And in the chapel there was a pastor, and he was like, "Why you're always crying here so much between the classes?" And I was just like, "I'm so sad. Like I want to play tennis. It's just so hard." And he told me, he was like, "Romana, come to India with us. We're going for a mission trip. We're gonna help other people. We're gonna work with people who are having health issues, leprosy.
mm,
We will go to orphanages." And I was just like, I'm going there. I don't care anymore about my life. I just want to help others. So we went there, and it was totally life changing. They were reading Bible. So first time in ever in my life I read Bible. I didn't understand what was in the Bible, but I was just like, God, if it's written in Bible that I will be joyful again. Like I don't know how you're gonna do it, but just like do it. And since then, like it was a very long process, but I got also baptized in New York, and Jesus totally changed my life and he changed my heart, and I'm forever thankful for my faith. And my life, it's not totally perfect anyway, and I'm struggling as well, like ups and downs as always, but having the faith and having, um, kind of the rock in your life, that's what I'm the most thankful ever, and that's also what Mary Pierce was talking about it. Like in her life, Jesus changed her life as well. But I don't want to sound like, like a Christian freak or whatever because I'm a sinner. I'm totally a sinner. But I just hope that whoever is watching this video just bless you so much, and I just wish that your heart will be filled like mine, because really life is not about the ranking or the
mm.
money or the world glory, but the most important in life is that you are fulfilled in love, with love inside, and that's what happens to me. And forever I'm gonna talk about this because that's what I'm thankful.
I'm glad that you can do it. How many languages you speak?
I would say I speak only two. I speak Slovakian, I speak English, then I speak a little bit, I don't know, of German, or a Czech language is the same like Slovakia. So
And and do you understand something in Spanish or nothing?
a little bit, a
A
little bit.
little
I'm
bit.
learning right now. I'm learning Italian. I always like to do something else,
Okay.
something fun. So,
I You mentioned Maratafin, and
how did you
also I talked
interview
to.
him? How did you interview him? That's
Uh,
amazing.
uh, I knew him since he was 12 years old.
No way. How is he
He
doing?
played he played with one of my former students, the Peruvian Luis Horna. Luis was a very good player, top 39 in the world, and they played when they were 12.
No way. So
And
that's why he had
he
interview with you.
remembered me from that time. The place, he remembered everything, the court, everything. But
Oh,
I asked him a question that I'm going to ask you now, and I hope you can
yes.
answer. I hope doesn't bother you. I asked Marat, would you like to be president one day?
Oh, yeah.
And
He used to be in politics as well, right? In the
yes,
Russian
and he
Duma.
said yes. He said yes. I'm going to ask you now.
He did?
Are you somewhere in your mind dreaming or wishing or thinking about one day becoming president of Slovakia?
Wow, that's amazing question. To be honest with you, politics is about serving the people. And I would say that it's not about what I want in politics, but when I will be needed and I would feel that the country needs a president. Like I'm not saying totally no. Like I'm very open to it. In my country, you can run for president when you are at least 40 years old. So
Mm.
I need at least 10 years more, and anything can happen in 10 years, you know. So, but the Slovakian media already asked about it, and they started to make fun of me, like, oh, whatever, like what she's like dreaming of. I'm not dreaming about it. It's just the thing that I'm open to it, and in 10 years, anything can happen, you know. And right now we have a female president, and you know, and she's a little bit struggling because politics is very rough. I think only very strong women can lead the country. And I'm not saying no, but I'm not dreaming about it. But I think it will be the same when I saw the tennis court, that you feel it inside that right now is the time. You never know what can happen in 10 years.
And about your son,
Yes.
what is the name of your son?
Isaac. His name is Isaac,
Isaac.
like Isaac
Isaac.
Newton.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Isaac. Would you like to see Isaac playing tennis in a high level, professional? Maybe one day becoming a top player.
I would I would love it, but I have to see that he wants to play tennis. I want to see the passion in him. Then I'm gonna support him because I already know like what to do in tennis. And yes, like I would love him to play tennis and to be very competitive and to be into it. I would be very happy about it, but at the same time, it's very hard. But right now, I'm stunned that you told me that Marat Safin told you that one day he would love to be a president. He'll be a great president. Marat?
Yeah.
Oh my
Was
gosh.
was probably his last interview. Then he vanished. He disappeared. So I'm very honored to have that opportunity in
And
2020 to
where does
interview.
he live? Does he live in Russia, or where
I
is he?
don't know. He is. I'm not in contact right now. And he said he wants to be away of tennis
Oh
atmosphere.
wow.
Yeah. But Dinara also. I talked to Dinara Safina.
And
She
how is she doing?
she's doing very nice. She's doing some coaching in Valencia, Spain.
Oh wow, I didn't know
They
that.
both, talk like Spanish,
I know.
Spaniards. They
That's
speak very
what I mean.
fluently Spanish. So uh, we're gonna wrap up this. It's been wonderful. I hope
Same.
you had a good time.
Same, Daniel. And you're very much and very you're invited to Slovakia, and we stay in touch. And maybe one day I'm gonna come to your academy. I can meet your girls, and you never know what can happen. And
Absolutely.
and I
But
love
before,
people who are so in love with tennis. You know, that's what always is combining us. You
it's
know.
small world, right?
Yeah,
But
it is.
before I let you go, I
Yes.
want you to give a sort of advices to um, parents of
Yeah.
junior players dreaming about being professional players one day.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, what is a good coach for you? How do you define a good coach? So I let
Yeah.
you talk about it.
So the first advice is watch the movie King Richard. I think that there is everything in the movie how to behave with your kid, also on court and off court. And then, um, just being supportive, and you also have to have a lot of luck in tennis. It's hard to say what to do exactly, but really work on and off the court with your kid. And definitely don't forget about the education. You should definitely finish your university anyhow, even in 5 or 6 years, but just do the university. And then the other question, what did you ask?
What is a good coach for
What is
you?
a
How do you define a
good
good
coach for
coach?
me? Like I used to have a coach since I was 12 years old who was really like passionate about it, and I took him as a second father. And the good coach is with whom you click, and you're having good results, and you're having good time also off the court. So you also have to have a kind of luck with the coach, because some coaches then they were like kind of unsuccessful, like not that successful, and then they start to work with some player and they click. And right now For example, Muchova, she's having Slovakian tennis coach, and she's like top 10 or so.
Mm.
And he was never like pretending that, oh, I'm the best coach. He was just coaching, in some region. And then they click with Muchova, and she played final over Roland Garros. So good luck with the click. The click is very important.
Excellent. When you see, I'm going to show you this tennis ball. When you see the tennis ball, what do you feel?
My whole childhood, I feel the texture, and I just feel all the emotions on the court, and I miss playing tennis, and I love the sport, which changed my life.
Awesome. And you. I'm sure this interview is going to change a lot of people's life.
Oh, hopefully.
No, no, of course it will. It will. Thank you so much. If you want to say something that I didn't ask you and you want to finish with, you go ahead and
Yes,
do it.
I will. Now listen, everyone. Every day you go to the mirror and you're gonna say, I am kind, I am smart, and I'm important. Every day, if you're gonna say this in the mirror, even if you're a small girl or a small boy or a man or woman, like that's life changing. Every day, I'm smart, I'm kind, and I'm important. And that's from the movie The Help. I recommend to watch the movie. It's an amazing movie how they were raising like little children, and it's everything like having like mental strength. It's just amazing. So this is what you should tell to yourself every day.
Thank you so much. The interview will be uploaded in the next hours on my YouTube channel. I'm going to
Perfect.
share with you the link tomorrow,
Thank you.
probably because it's late for you right now.
Yeah, it is. And
So
I'm gonna share it tomorrow on my social medias.
it's going to be no. Thank you, everyone. Everybody, say thank you, and I hope I see you soon.
Thank you, Daniel, and we stay in touch, and hopefully I will see you one day
Of
personally.
of
Okay.
course, of course.
Bless
Thank
you.
you.
Ciao,
Bye,
ciao.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, bye. Take care. Thank you, everybody.